The struggle you and every other modern worker is facing is not with saving time. It's much more important than that. Conventional wisdom has been telling us that we need to save time. But knowing that time is a commodity that can't be saved, the best we've been able to do is to help you decide where to spend your time. But now, we can do so much more. Whenever you have an interaction with someone, it can be an email, a phone call, a text, a meeting, or a face-to-face conversation, there are 4 questions your brain has to resolve before it can truly focus. First, who am I talking to? As conversational beings, we like to know the name, but it's sometimes not our primary goal. Our real purpose for getting the name is to help fill in the other blanks. If it doesn't, our brains keep looking for the answers to the remaining questions to the point that we often lose track of the name we've been given. That's why sometimes we quickly forget the names of new acquaintances, but we usually start with the name. Next, what or who do you know? This gives a frame of reference. It allows us to put the person in relation to all the other people and topics we know. If a person contacts me and states, "I'm Bob and I'm your new manager," or "I'm Mary, your sister's neighbor," that frames things up. A person's title or relationship to another individual provides a setting we're looking for. Then comes an important one. What do you need or want from me? We are selfish beings. Our brains are trying to protect us, so it's seeking an answer to the purpose of the conversation. It may be that you want nothing, just to share insights or stories. But it may be that you're trying to sell me on something or get me to agree to something. I want to know if my shields should be up or down. And last, why should I care? After all the other items are discovered, the final judgment is whether you're going to invest any more time or effort in the particular dialogue or topic. So how does this impact you on a daily basis? Think about a time when you were in a public setting and a person came up to you and began talking to you. They seemed to know you and were discussing something as if you were on board, but you weren't. You can't figure out who this person is. They look familiar, but you can't place them, and while they're speaking, your brain has you looking for the answers. You're looking around for a name tag. Your mind is taking in bits and pieces of the conversation, and like a person trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle without the box top, you're just frantically shuffling pieces around. And then they mention, last month when we were both met with Bob in New York, the lights go on. All the pieces snap into place. Your brain is satisfied. You physically feel a bit of relief. You breathe easier. You relax a bit. And now you can focus on the conversation. And if you're like me, at this point, you may have to ask the person to repeat part of the conversation. Why? Because you couldn't focus on the conversation until you had those questions answered. Their lips were moving, but your brain was sorting through all types of data to resolve the questions it needed to answer before it could really focus on the real issue. That is what we at IBM Watson Work do. We help your brain get the answers to the questions as soon as possible, thereby allowing you to focus 100% of your attention on the person, the conversation, the problem, or the topic. Combining Watson Cognitive Services with our market-leading collaboration and work solutions, we can give you and your brain the answers to the questions you need much quicker than if you have to resolve them yourself. Using your work patterns and social networks, we can alert you to the name of the person and where they fit in your organization or social network. If the message is stored digitally, as in email or voice, by leveraging Watson's understanding of language and context, we can locate what that person is asking for and even provide you the sentiment of the requester. So, if the tone of the message is anger, it might help you decide why you should care. And in the process of answering these questions, information is gathered that can be leveraged to cue your attention to the most important and leave the trivial to later or possibly never. In the past, this wasn't much of a problem. We worked in an environment where there was a limited number of people we met, and only a handful of interruptions during the day, so the mental thrashing our brain went through was minimal. But not now. There are so many points of connection and contact that we are in a constant state of interruption. Consider how many calls, emails, meetings, texts, IMs, pings you get on a daily basis. Whether you realize it or not, for each interaction, your brain spends time looking for those answers. Now, many vendors are attacking this overload by offering time-saving systems. And like us, they're coming up with some great solutions that help you find content quicker or ask questions in a more social setting, but their goal of doing this is to help you save time. But we've decided to tackle the harder question. How can we assist you in making better decisions by serving you with the answers your brain requires, and thereby allowing you to devote 100% of your creativity and talent toward the issue at hand? If you're interested in knowing more about how IBM Watson is affecting work and talent, let me know. I'd love to share our story with you.